Hi, welcome to my lesson on email account settings. Here I will cover from name, signature, and custom tracking domains. After each part, I will show you exactly how to set this up in Woodpecker. Let's start with from name. It forms the first part of the so-called preview text. Best practice here is to use your first and last name. Let's quickly look at the typical inbox. The preview text is one whole row in your inbox. It consists of from name, the subject, and a few words of the opening sentence. All three components of the preview text need to work together. If the subject line is too long, it steals space from that opening sentence. If the from name is just a company name, it may look too promotional. If both the subject line and the first sentence have the prospect's first name, well, it will look like a bad cold email. Think of a preview text as your first impression. If any of the components are off, you won't get the prospect to open your email. Now, let's open the app. I will show you where to set the from name. Click on your company name, choose Settings, then Accounts. Pick an email account, hit three dots, and pick Settings. Find from name in General Settings, set it up, and save. And it's as simple as that. Okay, that was the from name. Now, let's look at the signature. Your signature has a direct impact on deliverability. Plain text will give you the best chances to land in the inbox. Include name, title, company, plus a one-line opt-out. Let's look at two concrete examples. First, simple plain text signature. It takes just up to a few words. Now, here you can see a professional signature, a photo, and many social icons. It may look great, but at the same time, it's a deliverability trap. If you look at the HTML and total word count, it is well over 200 words. That in itself is already longer than the best practice for the whole cold email. Additionally, you have a lot of HTML in the email. This high HTML ratio may trigger more spam filtering. Now, I mentioned adding a one-line opt-out. This is important as there are laws that affect cold emailing. One key law is can spam. If you prefer not to add unsubscribe links, add a plain text sentence instead. For example, reply to this email and I'll stop all future messages, or something similar. Another important law is the GDPR and its local versions. It applies to the 27 EU countries, as well as Iceland, Norway, UK, and Liechtenstein. To be compliant here, you need to say you will stop processing the prospect's data. This could be reply to this email and I will stop all future messages and stop processing your data. Quick disclaimer, this lesson is information, not a legal advice. Always check the regulation yourself. With all theory out of the way, let's jump into Woodpecker. I will now show you how to set up your signature. Click on your company name, choose Settings, then Accounts. Here, pick an email account and click three dots. Then Settings, and then Signature should be just under the from name. Create your plain text signature and click Save Changes. With the signature out of the way, let's cover custom tracking domains. To keep things simple, we'll look at open tracking. Common practice to track open rates is to add invisible image to each email. This is called the tracking pixel. Tracking pixel typically linked to the domain of the sequencer. For instance, Woodpeckers. Now we take a good care of these domains, but here is the kicker. When you switch to a custom subdomain, the pixel points at your domain. Now the sending domain and the tracking domain match. The alignment signals trust and boosts deliverability. Best practice is a subdomain such as track.yourdomain.com. Okay, before we jump back into Woodpecker, add one record in your DNS. Create a CNAME for your tracking subdomain. Point it to berry.wcheck.org or the current target shown in our help article. I link them under this lesson. We rotate the value from time to time, so always confirm it there. Now, in Woodpecker, click on your company name, then Settings and Accounts. Now the three dots, as usual, go to Sending section. Enter your custom tracking domain, for instance, track.yourdomain.com. If you set up your CNAME correctly, there should be no error message. Keep in mind that the CNAME setting may need few hours to work. Alright, before we end the lesson, let's do a quick recap. From name, use real names rather than company names. Signature, use plain text for better deliverability and adhere to laws. And custom tracking domain, give brand alignment, more trust, and better deliverability. Apply these 3 settings today and your cold email will reach far more inboxes. Thanks for watching and see you in the next lesson.